जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज शील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया यमुना मैया की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। पतित पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकानाथ की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। शील प्रभुपाद की जय। शील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबल डिवोटीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री गुरु एंड श्री गौरंगा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 21. कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषो मायया स्वया आत्मन्यदृच्छया प्राप्तं विभूषुरूपाददे। कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषो मायया स्वया आत्मनं यदृच्छया प्राप्तं विभूषुरूपाददे। कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषो मायया स्वया आत्मन्यदृच्छया प्राप्तं विभूषुरूपाददे। कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषो मायया स्वया आत्मन्यदृच्छया प्राप्तं विभूभूषुरुपाददे कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषु मायया स्वया आत्मन्यदृच्छया प्राप्तम् विभूषुषुपाददे कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषु मायया स्वया आत्मन्यदृच्छया प्राप्तान् विभूषुरुपाददे कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषु मायया स्वयम् आत्मानं यदृच्छया प्राप्तं विभूषुरुपाददे कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषु मायया स्वया आत्मन्यदृच्छया प्राप्तं विभूषुरुपाददे माताजी कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषु मायया स्वया आत्मन्यदृच्छया प्राप्तं विभूषुरुपाददे कालं कर्म स्वभावं च मायेषु मायया स्वया आत्मन्यदृच्छया प्राप्तं विभूषुरुपाददे कालम eternal time, karma the fate of the living entity, swabhavam nature, cha also, maya potency, ishaha the controller, mayaya by the energy, swaya of his own, atman or atmani unto his self, yadrichaya independently, praptam being merged in, vibhubhushuhu appearing differently, upadade accepted for being created again. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Lord, who is the controller of all energies, thus creates by his own potency eternal time, the fate of all living entities and their particular nature for which they were created, and he again merges them independently. Purport. The creation of material world, wherein the conditioned souls are allowed to act subordinately by the Supreme Lord, takes place again and again after being repeatedly annihilated. The material creation is something like a cloud in the unlimited sky. The real sky is the spiritual sky, eternally filled with the ray of Brahma Jyoti, and a portion of this unlimited sky is covered by the Mahat Tattva cloud of the material creation, in which the conditioned souls who want to lord it against the will of the Lord are put into play as they desire under the control of the Lord by agency of his external energy. As the rainy season appears and disappears regularly, the creation takes place and is again annihilated under the control of the Lord, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 19. So the creation and annihilation of the material worlds is a regular action of the Lord, just to allow the conditioned souls to play as they like and thereby create their own fate of being differently created again in terms of their independent desires at the time of annihilation. The creation, therefore, takes place at a historical date, as we are accustomed to think of everything which has a beginning in our tiny experience. The process of creation and annihilation is called anadi, or without reference to the date regarding the time the creation first took place, because the duration of even a partial creation is 8.64 billion years. The law of creation is, however, as mentioned in the Vedic literatures, that it is created at certain intervals and is again annihilated by the will of the Lord. The whole material or even the spiritual creation is a manifestation of the energy of the Lord, just as the light and heat of a fire are different manifestation of fire's energy. The Lord therefore exists in his impersonal form by such expansion of energy, and the complete creation rests on his impersonal feature. Nonetheless, he keeps himself distinct from such creation as the Purnam, or complete. And so, no one should wrongly think that his personal feature is not existent due to his impersonal unlimited expansions. The impersonal expansion is a manifestation of his energy, and he is always in his personal feature despite his innumerable unlimited expansions of his impersonal energies. Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verses 5 to 7. For human intelligence, it is very difficult to conceive how the whole creation rests on his expansion of energy. But the Lord has given a very good example in the Bhagavad Gita. It is said that although the air and the atoms rest within the huge expansion of the sky, which is like a resting reservoir of everything materially created, still the sky remains separate and unaffected. Similarly, although the Supreme Lord maintains everything created by his expansion of energy, he always remains separate. This is accepted even by Shankaracharya, the great advocate of the impersonal form of the Absolute. He says, Narayana Paro Vyaktat, or Narayana exists separately, apart from the impersonal creative energy. The whole creation thus merges within the body of transcendental Narayana at the time of annihilation, and the creation emanates from his body again with the same unchanging categories of fate and individual nature. The individual living entities, being parts and parcels of the Lord, are sometimes described as Atma, qualitatively one in spiritual constitution. But because such living entities are apt to be attracted to the material creation, actively and subjectively, they are therefore different from the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitamstam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पथे गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings of all devotees so that I can speak something glorifying Lord for all of your pleasure and for my purification. So in this chapter we are seeing that Narada Muni is asking questions about creation to Lord Brahma, and Brahma has started answering on this. So in today's verse, Brahma is mentioning that the Lord, who is controller of all energies, thus creates eternal time and the fate of all living entities. So, in purport, Srila Prabhupada so nicely is mentioning how this creation is created by Lord's energies and then again it is annihilated. So the important points Srila Prabhupada mentions is about eternal time and fate. So generally fate and destiny, they're kind of similar words. Just the fate has a negative connotation, We say, what a fateful day, It's more of a negative sense. But destiny is more of a, positive sense is mentioned. So in today's discussion, we'll see how this time and fate, they have been referred by, even demons. Then how, what are the things that we can change in our destiny? What are the things that we cannot change? And what is the benefit of understanding how this time and fate mechanism works? So we'll discuss these 3 points. So first we see that this eternal kala and fate has been referred again and again in scriptures, even by demons. When our Dwarkadhish, they kidnap Rukmini. So all the kings, they attack Krishna. And there is, fierce battle, right? But of course, Krishna and the Yadu soldiers, they effortlessly defeat Shishupal, Jarasandha, Rukmi, their combined forces. That time, this Shishupal is, very dejected, because, he lost his to-be wife, Mother Rukmini, and he lost the battle. So losing in a battle is a great insult for a Kshatriya, right? So that time Jarasandha, he goes to Shishupal and he says that, oh Shishupal, don't be aggrieved, because as per time and fate, sometimes we are winners and sometimes we are losers. And he gives his own example. He says that, 17 times, I got defeated by Krishna. But, 18 times the fate was, on my side and I defeated Krishna. Of course, we know, Krishna is a Ranchor. he just left, but Jarasandha took it as a victory. So we see that, Jarasandha referring to, same time and fate. Right? Again, Kamsa, when the eighth child, the daughter, she slips away and, informs Kamsa that you fool. The eighth son of Devaki is already born somewhere, So that time, Kamsa starts speaking philosophy. He says, anyway, everything is destined, what was my mistake, We read that in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So we see that demons also recognize that eternal kala, time, and fate are supreme. But the problem is they misuse this understanding. They justify their wrongdoings on the name of fate. Say, okay, it has considered, I killed because it was anyway in their destiny. They doesn't take responsibility. But a devotee, he understands it in a proper sense. Srila Prabhupada, actually this purport has very long sentences. But if we carefully read, each one is, masterpiece, So, Prabhupada says that, the Lord to allow the conditioned souls to play as they like and thereby create their own fate of being differently created, again in terms of their independent desires. So it's a pretty long sentence. This is just part of sentence. So what Prabhupada is telling us is that the fate, though it is supreme, the cause of it is a desire of independent living entity. And depending on one's desire, he takes birth again and again. So it is said that we have to watch our desires because they become words. We have to watch our words because they become action. We have to watch our actions because they become habit. We have to watch our habits because it becomes character. And we have to watch our character because it becomes a culture. So it all starts with a desire. So if I desire something wrong, my words will come out as a wrong. Then my actions would be wrong. If I keep performing wrong actions, doing wrong becomes my habit. And then I become a demon. That becomes my character. And then if I continue that character, the whole culture, civilization becomes demonic. This acts even in a positive sense. If I have good thoughts, my words would be good, then my actions would be good, my habits would be good, and then my character and whole civilization become good. So we have to watch our desires. So, as regards to fate, we'll see what things we can change and what things we cannot change. Prahlad Maharaj, he explains that don't look for happiness because the amount of happiness and distress you are going to get is already fixed. So what does that mean? That means that material destiny cannot be appreciably changed. Material destiny cannot be appreciably changed. If I am supposed to get X amount of pleasure, even if I slog like a donkey, I may get, say, X plus 1 or X plus 2, but I cannot make 10X or I cannot make it 20 times, more what I am supposed to get. So material destiny in that sense is fixed. We cannot appreciably change it. But, so are we hopeless? Are we robots? No. There is no limit how much spiritual advancement we can make. Spiritual destiny cannot be stopped. We can become pure devotee even in one moment. Khatvanga Muni, when he came to know that he had just 1 moment to left, just sat in meditation of Lord, went back to spiritual world. So there is no hindrance or no binding on how much progress we can spiritually make. So I'll give you an example. Suppose we have a race between a person who is running, between a person who is biking, and a car. And then the race is from here to San Diego. Who will win? Car, obviously, right? Because the car's destiny, the car's previous karma are such that it has a capacity to run very fast and he can change. So materially, even if a biker is slogging, he's foaming, can he beat car? No, because the mechanism itself is completely different. So if I try to compete with Jeff Bezos or this Warren Buffett, even if I slog 24/7 without sleep, I cannot, because as per my previous karma I am supposed to get X amount of money and I cannot just increase it unlimitedly. But now in the same example, what if a helicopter comes, he puts his, that whatever thing they have to catch person, he puts that down, catch hold of that person, and he races with that car. Who will win? Who? No, the person will win now, because he has a higher support from a helicopter, right? So even if car is very fast, helicopter is much more faster. So same way, I may have a very miserable material destiny because of my karma, but if I want to spiritually advance, Krishna and Guru's mercy, it comes like a helicopter. He catch holders of me and takes us to the finish line. This is clear? So material destiny cannot be appreciably changed. At the same time, there is no limit how much spiritual advancement we can make. So this is first thing about destiny. What we can change and what we cannot. And what is the... so is it that we are robots if materially also everything is fixed? No. There is another example. I have a free will, I have a money. Because of my karma, I have $1,000. I have a free will whether I take ticket to Kolkata and wish to go to Mayapur, or whether I want to go to New York. But once I purchase the ticket, say I purchase ticket for Kolkata, I cannot change it. I cannot sit in a flight and say that, take me to New York. No, my destiny is fixed now, because I have used my free will to purchase a ticket in a certain way, right? But even once I sit in a flight, I still have a free will. I can either, make a nice friend with a person sitting next to me. He may be, somebody big businessman. So I may crack some nice deal. And what is destiny awaiting me? Lot of money. But I have another choice, I just shout, hey, the plane is hijacked, I am a terrorist, Then my destiny is fixed. What? There are, multiple colored vans waiting for me, police, right? So I may be put in a particular situation because of my karma, but still we have a free will how to act within that range. And that free will is never taken from a living entity. That's why Prabhupada says that depending on one's desire, so basically free will, even within one's particular condition, one can decide its future destiny. So though we cannot appreciably change whatever materially we have, we still have a free will to change what is waiting for us in future. So when we understand this, what happens is that we won't complain, we won't criticize, and we won't compare. When we understand this mechanism of time and destiny. Why we won't compare? Because I know my engine is of that bike and that fellow has an engine of a motor car. There is no point comparing. He is going to win. So I won't compare. So I won't be frustrated, because we see in this world most of the problems they come is, hey, wish this guy has so much, I don't have this. We born in the same year, same age. And there are cricket players or many sports stars. They are of the same age, they are millionaires, and then, we may be a pauper. Why? The engine is different, It's karmas, in past life, they are different. So, I won't compare because I know. Second, I won't criticize. I won't say, no. Lord is partial. No, why Lord is partial? He just created the mechanism. It's me who has misused my free will or used it in a right way, because of which I am what I am today. So therefore, we won't even criticize Lord or the circumstances in which we are in. Sometimes we see that two people may get the same facility. One may excel, one may not. Like even in devotional circle, we see that we may have, introduced somebody to Krishna consciousness, and he may have, gone, far behind, and we are still struggling, Hey, what's happening? No, he's just using his free will rightly. We are not. We have to look back. And the third, we won't complain, because we know that we are product of our own desires. We are product of our own choices. So when we understand this properly, we won't see why good things are happening and bad things. I attended Mangal Aarti every day. Still, why Krishna did this to me? I am chanting from last 20 years. Why Krishna did it to me? We won't complain, because we see that Krishna is merciful. He's just giving us tokens. It's all because of this fate factor. So we see Brahmaji is mentioning, and Krishna is such an amazing. He respects our desires to such an extent that even if we don't perfect life within this whole lifetime of Brahma, and when this whole universe is partially annihilated, still he keeps our desire in mind, and next time he'll give us the same body to fulfill those desires. So that also shows the most merciful nature of Lord. It's just that we should not exploit it and be in the material world for eternity. But this gives a clue. We desire spiritual advancement, and then surely Krishna will fulfill. So Brahmaji here, in such a nice way, he is telling that this whole time factor and this fate of living entities and their particular nature. So because of their fate, they get particular nature. Lord creates, and he again merges them independently. So to summarize, we saw that how this kala, the time and destiny, fate factor, even demons, they know it, but they misuse it. They do wrong, and they say that anyway, it's in the destiny. It was in the destiny. But devotees, they understand. Actually, this destiny is a product of our own choices, but even in that particular situation, what destiny we have, Krishna doesn't take away our free will, and we have a choice to decide what we want to do future. So we saw that what we cannot change, the material destiny, we cannot change appreciably, but what we can change is spiritual advancement. We can change innumerably, like we can advance and go back. And then we saw that understanding of this, we saw two examples about the racing car and the person traveling in a plane. And then we saw that when we understand this concept of destiny and time in proper way, then we won't complain, we won't criticize, and we won't compare, which will make us happy. The another fault of not understanding this properly is that the modern day, everybody, the propaganda is that you are the maker of your own destiny. You can do what you want. But when the things doesn't happen that way, person feels dejected and mental problem starts. But then this proper understanding clears that and makes us face any situation in life. So Brahmaji is that way answering Narad Muni's question. So with this, would like to stop. Any questions, comments? Yes, Prabhu. Oh.
Thanks a lot, Prabhu. About karma being fixed, like fate and destiny is like set. What's your comment about like processes like atonement and sacrifices? Do they change karma or do they mitigate karma? Do they like add like positive karma to the negative karma? What's the procedure with that? Or like, do they like mitigate some karma in terms of prabdha, aparabdha, bij, or don't affect others? What do they do? Atonement and sacrifice.
So, yeah, actually, it's not that if I do something pious, my impious is negated. No, I am supposed to reap the benefit of what I did wrong. At the same time, what I did right also, that benefit is given. The process of atonement was given, when person understand that he did something wrong, so, to kind of, realize that, okay, I should not do it again, and then even, in sixth canto, he says, our Parikshit Maharaj says, Manne Kunjara Shauchavat, that the process of atonement, he derides it because he said that even if person does atonement, he again performs the same activity because the tendency of doing the sin is not given. Prabhupada gives the example of a thief, that even if he is caught, he again does thief. So unless we perform Krishna consciousness seriously, those desires are not completely rejected. So yes, the process of atonement, sacrifice, they are given, but that's all falls within karma kanda, wherein, okay, you say that yes, person says that I am suffering now in this world, but if I do this sacrifice, you will go to heaven. So let me do that so that my at least future destiny is, kind of more happy. So all this Vedic karma kanda section, it's like they, it says, Vedavada, the flowery words of Vedas, they are very attractive because they promise higher material enjoyment. But once that is like, your pious credit is over, again you have to, come back. So basically it's like, earning money and spending money. You do pap, you are spending money, and you do punya, you are earning money. But the problem with it is that, you will still be in this cycle of birth and death. So yes, we have to be regretful of what we have done something wrong, but we have to take in that sense of, we have to take that atonement process as a reformative, not as a license to do the same mistake again. So those are few things. Does that satisfy? Yeah. Would you want to add something? Okay, anything else? Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.